Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video I'm going to explain what each and every tab in Microsoft Autoruns does. Okay, I'm just going to quickly run the tool for you by administrative uh, privilege. Okay, and I'm not just going to run any scans out here. I'm just going to explain each and every tab here. Okay, whatever I know. All right. So let's quickly begin with the logon tab out here. Okay, what this logon tab is, I'm just going to explain you, give some short insight about it. Okay, so this logon tab displays information for standard startup locations for all the users that who are there or who are using a particular computer. Okay, and this includes program startup locations and also relevant run keys. Okay, run keys in the sense the ones that are that is currently I'm just showing. Okay, so the run keys in the sense the run dialog box here, right? All the shortcuts that you use to uh, get in with using the run dialog box is known as run keys. Okay, and what is a run key? If you ask me, I'm just going to give you a more bit of a brief insight about it. It's just a run key is nothing but it is a device. It is part of the device's registry. Okay, a malware will often create a run key of its own so that when a device is booted up, the malware automatically launches itself. Okay, at the startup. Okay, startup in the sense when your machine boots up and after you enter your password, that particular moment, right, automatically certain applications starts up itself. Okay, that is called as startup during your logon. Usually your Outlook email is going to start up on its own. That's because it's a startup program that is configured either by you or by default. All right, so that's meant by startup, and that's when it is called as, that is the use that is going to be pivotal. Okay, okay, under the logon tab it's all the startup items that is going to be listed under logon tab. All right, the next tab, explorer tab, right, it displays details or information like shell extensions, browser helper objects, explorer toolbars, as well as active setup executions. Okay, if I talk about extensions, so these are individual plugins for your Windows Explorer, guys. Okay, one example of this is being able to view your pdf file, right? That is an extension, and that is called as shell extensions. Okay, and next comes the browser helper objects. Okay, all your DLL files, modules, right, that access plugins for Internet Explorer, your browser, okay, gets displayed under the Explorer. I think we don't have any Explorer. I mean, there is no Internet Explorer now. Okay, if you go to here, this Internet Explorer tab is going to give you absolutely nothing. That's because Internet Explorer is now no longer a valid browser. It's replaced with Edge, so this particular feature is depreciated. Okay, or no longer in use, so you can just ignore the Internet Explorer tab. Okay, and by default the browser helper objects will take the Internet Explorer path. I'm not sure if after the decommissioning of Internet Explorer, whether this path is going to change according to the browser you have, or perhaps this is going to take the path of Microsoft Edge. Okay, which is replaced now uh, with the Internet Explorer. Okay, so next thing comes within the Explorer tab is Explorer toolbars. Okay, all the toolbars gets listed up here. Okay, that these are generally the third party plugins again for Internet Explorer. Okay, the toolbar gives you access to the third party platform. Okay, you will get the access to third party platforms, which marks as plugins within the Internet Explorer. Again, the Internet Explorer is no longer in existence, so you can ignore that too. Okay, so active setup locations, which means a mechanism for executing commands uh, once a user logs in, right? So that is known as active setup execution, okay, which is again part of this Explorer tab and Internet Explorer tab, right? So that's one thing, guys. All right, so I will quickly skip the Internet Explorer path tab. That's because there will be no entries, because there is no Internet Explorer browser anymore. Okay, I'm not sure why Microsoft Autoruns has not updated this with Edge. All right, so that's a question to Microsoft. So that's fine. We'll skip that and we'll move to schedule tasks. So schedule tasks is nothing but, guys, like I said before, it displays all the tasks that are configured to start at the boot or post the login. Okay, or whilst the login. Okay, and it this is one of the common techniques, guys, used by various malwares and its genes or families. Okay, so that's the use of the schedule tasks out here. Okay, to schedule the launch of any malware either during the start of the boot or after the login or whilst you log in. Okay, so that's the use of schedule task, guys. Okay, for you to analyze the starting mechanism of a malware. Okay, pre or post the boot. Okay, now let's quickly go to services tab, guys. So services tab displays all the Windows services that are scheduled to run automatically when a device boots. Okay, so all your Microsoft services, non-Microsoft services, non-Windows services, and Windows services gets listed out here. Okay, that's the use of this services tab. All right, and then drivers. Okay, so if I talk about what drivers is and what this particular tab is going to help you with, is going to explain you. So drivers is a piece of hardware to communicate with the device's operating system or with your device's operating system. The drivers tab in the Autoruns, right, this particular tab out here displays all the registered drivers of your device except for the ones that you have disabled. All right, so that's the use of the drivers over here. Okay, so if I move about so I'm not really sure of what codex is about. Okay, so I think I need to do some research on this codex tab. Okay, and even there is no entry out here, so I've never worked with codex tab before, even when I was a malware analyst my in one of the organization that I've worked. So I've never used the codex tab, so that's why I'm just going to skip it. And even I honestly, if I tell you, I don't know what codex tab does. Okay, and I don't have a valid use case about it. Okay, so I will just go to, even the same goes to boot execute as well. Okay, uh, if I just talk about the boot execute, I will just tell you what it does. Okay, just have a small information about it. This particular tab displays the startup location, okay, that are associated with the session manager. Okay, session manager means it is a file, okay, that is responsible to create sessions post your boot. Okay, that is known as session manager subsystem. Okay, the executable responsible for it is smss.exe. Okay, that's an information. Okay, so let me quickly pause the video, someone is knocking my door. You guys, next tab that I've already told what a boot execute tab does. Okay, now I'm just going to go to image hijacks. Okay, image hijacks tab, right? These are quite sneaky, guys. In that, in this particular tab, what happens is Windows registry has a key, okay, to launch a certain process, but instead it what it does is it redirects to launch a different malicious process. Okay, so that is called as image hijack, guys. Okay, this is basically what it does is, for every process there is a registry, okay, that has a key. Okay, that has a key to launch a certain process. However, what this image hijack does is, instead of launching a genuine process, okay, there may be a malicious process. Okay, and instead of running the genuine process, this image hijack redirects to launch a different malicious process, okay, within the registry. So that is known as image hijacks, okay, and that is the use of this image hijacks tab to understand what malicious process is getting executed from registry, okay. So that's how it works, guys. Okay, currently don't have anything, just because this is a brand new PC. Okay, don't have a valid use case to show you, right? Now I will quickly move to app in it. Okay, what it does is it shows all the DLLs that are registered with application initialization, okay. All the DLL files that's responsible for the execution of application gets showed up here. All right, so that's the use of app in it tab in Autoruns. All right. Now next, if I go to known DLLs, right, what this does is I will just drink a glass of water, guys. My throat is sour. I'm back, guys. So I'm going to explain what known DLLs tab is about. Okay. So known DLLs in Windows are anything that has file names like kernel32.dll, ntdll.dll, okay, and many more system related Windows related DLL files, okay. These files, right, these DLL files allow software to import certain functionality, okay, and some malware will install malicious DLLs that have been crafted by an attacker, okay, or the malware owner, okay. These may be located in locations you not expect to find legitimate Windows DLLs, okay, such as temp folder locations, okay, where these malicious DLLs can reside and execute some dangerous commands or dangerous tasks that may harm your computer, okay, and in return favor the attacker. So that's where known DLLs helps you in determining any malicious DLLs that may resemble like a Windows DLL file, okay. I mean, it will duplicate and resemble very similar or very identical to some of the common Windows kernel related DLL files, okay. And so that's the use of known DLLs tab out here, guys, okay. So let me quickly go to WinLogon tab out here and tell you what this tab is about. So this is used, guys, when a user logs into a Windows device. I think I told you this in the earlier part of the video, in the starting of the video. I'm not sure, I'm just repeating it. WinLogon, this WinLogon tab is used, okay, when a user logs into a Windows computer, okay. And this tab displays DLLs that registers notifications for logon events within the event viewer, okay. And if you are a Windows administrator, it will, this tab Windows logon, WinLogon, will come very handy, okay. It registers all the notifications of all the users who log in to a particular PC, okay. And it generates a DLL files out here in this particular tab or the page below, okay. And it also registers notifications of the logon events within the event viewer, okay. All the logon events within event viewer, it's going to shown up over here along with the DLL files that are responsible for the user login to particular computer, okay. So that's the use of the WinLogon tab, guys. Again, I don't have a valid use case to or demonstrate you in real time, okay, in a practical manner, but however I just can give you the theoretical explanation of what each of these tabs are, guys, okay. And if I about to move to WinSock providers, again there is no valid use case over here, however I can give you a theoretical explanation of what this tab does, okay. So this tab, guys, shows registered WinSock protocols, okay, and otherwise called as Windows sockets, okay, that allows programs to connect to the internet, guys, in as simple as that, okay. And malwares, right, it may install itself as a WinSock provider, okay. as they can be very difficult to remove. Autoruns can disable them but never delete them. Okay, so that's the use of winsock providers, guys. Okay, hope you get the explanation. Okay, where I don't have a valid use case just now. Okay, because this is a brand new PC. Okay, next, if I move to print monitors tab. Okay, and if I want to talk about what print monitors tab does here. Okay, again, I don't have valid use case. However, I can just give you a brief insight about this tab. It displays all the DLL files that load into your print spooling service. Okay, if I open services just now, there will be a service called as print spooler. Okay, services.msc. If I hit enter, if I just go to print, and you see this print spooler service. Okay, this particular service, right? Okay, and where this print monitors tab displays all the DLL files that load into the print spooling service. Okay, the DLL files that are responsible to run the print spooling service gets loaded up here or gets displayed over here. And what this particular tab has linked with a malware is a malware could leverage this by installing a malicious DLL. Okay, and it can execute via print spooler service and print some of the confidential information available within that computer, and the document printed can go onto a wrong hand. Okay, that's the use of the print monitors, guys, and this allows you to see if there are any malicious DLLs loaded in the form of a print spooler service. Okay, so that's the responsibility of the print monitors tab out here within this Autoruns tool. Okay, if I just want to talk about LSA providers. Okay, and basically, what is LSA providers, guys? So it's nothing but Windows local security. Okay, security authentication, local security authentication providers. Okay, this particular tab supports any process, right, that are related to security and authentication. Okay, that is called as LSA providers. Okay, don't have much insight about this LSA providers in real time. I don't have a valid use case to underline and show what this tab exactly does. Okay, but I will try and see if for each of these tabs I get a valid use case to show you on how exactly it works in a practical or real-time scenario or real-time world or real-time environment. Okay, and I think that's all, guys. I think all the tabs I have covered. And this network providers, again, I don't have much insight about it because I've never used this tab in my tenure when I was a malware analyst working for a company. Okay, so I've never used this network providers tab and never got a chance to explore what this exactly does. Okay, however, you can research by yourself and see what this tab does. Okay, because majority of my explanation have all been in a theoretical manner. Okay, and if you found this video helpful, please hit the support button, guys, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. We'll meet in the next video with more useful content like this. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Ta-da.